Los Angeles, January 1947. The City of Angels was a place of glitter and grime, where Hollywood's golden age shined on the surface, while the underbelly writhed with corruption, crime, and broken dreams. In the post-World War II boom, soldiers returned home, the film industry expanded, and countless young women flooded California, chasing stardom. Among them was a 22-year-old drifter with porcelain skin, jet black hair, and a life that flickered between glamour and despair. Her name was Elizabeth Short. The world would forever remember her as the Black Dahlia. Her murder remains one of America's most infamous, unsolved crimes, killing so grotesque, so theatrical, that it transformed a struggling actress into a chilling icon of mystery and horror. Elizabeth Short. The dreamer Elizabeth was born in Boston in 1924, one of 5 daughters. Her childhood was marked by instability. Her father abandoned the family during the Depression, and Elizabeth grew up longing for escape. With her pale skin and raven hair, she bore a striking resemblance to the Hollywood starlets of the era. In her late teens, she drifted to California, chasing glamour. Friends described her as sweet, dreamy, but unstable. She had romances with servicemen, worked odd jobs, and told stories of movie auditions that never panned out. She adopted a signature style: black dresses, red lipstick, and carefully curled hair. Locals called her the Black Dahlia, perhaps inspired by the film noir The Blue Dahlia, released the previous year. But beneath the allure, she was struggling, broke, often homeless, and lonely. Elizabeth wandered from bar to bar, relying on acquaintances to survive. The discovery, on the cold morning of January 15, 1947, in a vacant lot in South Los Angeles, a woman walking with her young daughter stumbled upon something that would shake the city. At first, she thought she saw a mannequin, but as she approached, the horror became clear. Elizabeth Short's body lay naked, severed in half at the waist. Her skin was drained of blood, her corpse pale and rigid. The cut was so clean, it seemed surgical. Her mouth had been slashed from ear to ear into a grotesque Glasgow smile. Bruises and rope marks covered her body. Her intestines were tucked beneath her torso as if arranged. The killer had scrubbed her clean, leaving no blood at the scene. It was a tableau of horror, staged with theatrical cruelty. The police were called, and within hours, the lot was swarming with reporters, detectives, and morbid onlookers. The press immediately seized upon the nickname Black Dahlia, spinning tales of a mysterious femme fatale whose murder echoed Hollywood noir. The investigation. The LAPD launched a massive investigation. Detectives interrogated hundreds of suspects, from boyfriends to drifters. Soldiers stationed nearby were questioned. Medical professionals were considered, given the surgical precision of the cuts. The press played a dangerous role. Tabloids sensationalized Elizabeth's life, painting her as a promiscuous party girl, feeding the public's appetite for scandal. Letters poured into newspapers, some claiming to be from the killer. One package included Elizabeth's belongings, mailed with newspaper clippings and gasoline-cleaned fingerprints. The writer promised more killings. Police believed at least one letter was genuine. The LAPD was overwhelmed. More than 150 suspects were questioned, but no one charged. Among them were aspiring actors, businessmen, doctors, even women. But the case remained elusive. Theories and suspects. One of the prime suspects was Dr. George Hodel, a wealthy physician with a reputation for eccentricity. Hodel had studied surgery, and his mansion in Hollywood became infamous as a den of orgies and avant-garde gatherings. His own son later accused him of the murder, citing secret recordings in which Hodel seemed to allude to killing Elizabeth. However, no direct evidence tied him to the crime. Other theories abounded that Elizabeth was killed by a spurned lover, that she was the victim of a mobster, that a woman, jealous of her beauty, orchestrated her death, or, most hauntingly, that she was just one of many victims of a serial killer operating in Los Angeles. Yet, despite endless speculation, no suspect was ever charged. The cultural impact, the Black Dahlia case, became more than a murder. It became a mirror reflecting America's obsessions. The brutality of the crime shocked post-war optimism. The victim's lifestyle fed tabloids eager to demonize young women chasing stardom. Hollywood embraced the darkness. Films and novels drew inspiration from Elizabeth's fate. James Ellroy's The Black Dahlia fictionalized the case into a best-selling noir novel, later adapted into a film. Documentaries revisited the case, often blending fact and conspiracy. Elizabeth Short became both martyr and myth, a symbol of innocence chewed up by Hollywood's cruel machinery, and of America's darkest fascination with beauty and death. The legacy, nearly 80 years later, the Black Dahlia murder, remains unsolved. The LAPD still lists it as a cold case, though most detectives believe the truth may have died with the original suspects. For many, the horror lies not just in the crime, but in its performance, the staged body, the theatrical smile, the cruel silence left behind. As you walk the streets of Los Angeles today, you might pass near the site where Elizabeth Short's body was found. The lot is gone, paved over, but the memory lingers. Tour guides whisper her name, writers revisit her story, and her pale face stares from endless photographs. The Black Dahlia reminds us that beneath the glamour of Hollywood lies a darkness deeper than shadow, a darkness that consumes, erases, and never answers back. And so, the question remains: who killed Elizabeth Short? Was it a doctor, a lover, a stranger, or was the city itself complicit, feeding on her tragedy? Don't forget to like and subscribe to Crimson Narratives, because in every city, behind every shining light, lurks a story carved from blood.